are prepared to break the silence. I'll be out in the sunshine, running beside the lions. I've been feeling down, but I've been looking up, afraid to fall. God, I've been so down, can you pick me up? Don't let me fall. Can you show me how to fix this mess? I am down on my knees and I may fall as I'm so close to the end.
How are we all doing? Welcome back to Turf Moor House TV and a little new addition. It's a little Diddy Dan in the corner. Hope you are all well. Really do appreciate you coming back. Thank you for all the love and support yesterday on the watch along. Yes, the result. You know, I shouldn't grumble really. Should not grumble at all because it was not a bad point. Not a bad point in the slightest. We were under the cosh for most of it. And to get a point out of it in the end, I think it's just more gutting because you've gone 1-0 up and then you concede so late on again. Story of Burnley season so far. That said, guys, really do appreciate the love and support. As I've already mentioned, I don't know why I'm repeating myself. Always get the jitters before going live, and it always costs me. Repeat myself constantly, all the time. Guys, if you are new around here, please do drop a like on this video first and foremost. That would be much appreciated. Secondly, hit that subscribe button. In fact, do this. Like the video, subscribe to us if you can. It's free. You don't need a wallet, you don't need a purse, you don't need shrapnel out your back pocket. It's a little button, you press it, and that's it. Done. Cost you nothing. And if you want to also be notified when we go live, you can also click the notification bell to be notified of our next video, which won't be long after this one, to be quite honest with you, where we do our championship predictions. However, we are here for the See, I'm doing it again. Nerves, arse going like that. We are here to speak Sunderland Burnley. There is a game this weekend. They come thick and fast in the championship, as we are now getting used to. These Saturday Tuesdays or Wednesdays as of this week. But we take the trip to the Stadium of Light, and I'm looking forward to this. The last time I went, I think we played Sunderland in the Cup and we drew 0-0 and took it back to a replay at the Turf. And I just remember the day out was good because I went with a few mates. But the result, the game, terrible, shocking to say the least. Let's have a look at a few of your guys' comments then, nice and early. For some reason, I've got a stream elements bot running. Fair enough. I'm all down for the bot as long as you can kick out all the porno people that keep trying to post, sex and Tinder stuff in there. That'd be great. QPR Mads in. Hope you are well, mate. Hope you're well. Came into the stream yesterday and we had a conversation back and forth. Enjoy the top of the league while you've got it, mate. While you've got it. Ducky's in the building. He says, good evening, pal. How's it going, Mucker? All is well, my fat love. Hope you are well. Just to add, pal, why is Andrew Tate waving at you? Cheeky bastard you are, honestly. Anyway, that said, get involved in the comments as well. Let us know your score predictions for this game. I'm not going to give mine until later on, obviously, for the prediction show. But let's get into it then. By the way, this will be, it is currently live now on Facebook and on Twitch and YouTube as well. So check us out on them platforms. And you can also get this on podcast. Not long after, you will be able to get it on podcast. I've just seen Ant come in as well. That's perfect timing. Just perfect timing. So I will get the boys in just a sec. I have got the lads, as you could see from the opening credits, we've got the lads from What a Ball 8 podcast, and I'm looking forward to finally putting a face to the names. Not that the pictures on WhatsApp or Teams doesn't do them justice, but you know what I mean. So anyway, this is where you can find us on socials. Where you can see us is everywhere but OnlyFans, and I think you know that by now. So yeah, here's a little video to show you where you can get us. If it's not the gruesome twosome, the Mackham's answer to Anton Deck. How are we doing?
Very well, man. Very well. I've got to say as well, your video intro at the beginning was absolutely class. I hadn't seen it, and it's absolutely mint. But very well, man. How are you?
Yeah, all is good in the hood at my end. Ant, how are you doing?
I'm good, mate. If you want Gary to be called Deck just for tonight, then feel free if it makes it easier.
or Geck. We'll use Geck.
No, guys, I'm looking forward to this. You know, it's nice. Obviously, I think I've been on your channel twice now for the podcast. Yeah. So to finally get you guys on here as well is just brilliant. I think we actually spoke about the fact that, you know, when you guys come up and if what looked like we were going down at the time anyway, it'd be good to obviously get together. So it's finally good to get this mashup and collection going. So first and foremost, I'll come to you, Ant, since you just come in. Tell us a bit about yourself, about the channel that you both helped run together, and obviously, yeah, how long you've supported Sunderland, just a bit of your background, really.
Yeah, well, I'm 36 now, so I've been supporting Sunderland probably since I was out the womb, to be honest. It wouldn't have been, I don't think it would have been any other case with my dad, obviously. I think it's like everything, isn't it? Your dad's your role model in life, and that is the same for me. And I've just supported Sunderland ever since. You know, went my first game when I was 6 in 1992. That seems bloody ages away, doesn't it now? When I had more hair. But yeah, you know, I've just followed them since. You know, absolutely adore the club. You know, finally think that we're on our way back. But we'll go into that probably in more detail. And yeah, like I say, me and Gary got together. We've been mates for God knows how many years now. We got together in COVID just to say, look, we just want to talk about football, you know, and all sports, really, you know. We've got quite a wide array of sports that we both like, so we just wanted to get a podcast together, you know. We're not even that bothered if nobody listens to us, to be honest. It gives us a little bit of relief from you know, the daily grind, to be honest. So, yeah, it got us through COVID, and we just decided to keep it on, decided to get a few guests in, like your good self. Yeah, and I think that, you know, the pod at the minute, obviously we've been a little bit hitty-missy because we've had a bit of chow on with our lives this year, but we started again last night. We recorded one. I think it's due out the DL tomorrow. Yeah, so fingers crossed we can get, you know, that back onto a weekly basis.
No, happy days. I mean, anything that you can add to that, Gary, and also, you know, tell people where they can go and follow you and show their support.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Ant's journey, like I was saying about Sunderland there, mine very similar, although I didn't have, like, you know, my dad didn't influence me, you know, to support Sunderland, Newcastle, or even Middlesbrough, or any other team. It was kind of a decision that I made, you know, on my own. And my dad was very, you know, interested in all the local teams. So that's how I pretty much became involved in, like, supporting Sunderland. And as Ant said, we've known each other for years. I would probably say, obviously, over 30 years, really. I mean, we went to, like, infant school together. So we've always known each other. And you know, as far as the channel went, it was just something that we wanted to create, you know, as Ant said, in COVID, you know, something to put out there, like, kind of share our opinions. Because I always felt like, personally, we always had, like, a good, like, football banter in our group chat, and it was from time to time it got heated in conversations where we just go back and forth. And I thought, well, why not put that on a platform and see how it works out? So then obviously we decided to put it out there and, you know, use a program called Sounder, which I don't know if you've used that before, to try and put out an RSS feed for it. And then we got ourselves an Apple and Spotify, and we have a YouTube channel as well, but we just haven't had the time to really, you know, put the effort in with the YouTube channel. It is something that, you know, this year, early next year, we'll probably start looking at and trying to get that sorted. But we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. pretty much every social you can think of, we're on Google Podcasts as well, which I don't think anyone ever really uses, but besides Apple and Spotify. But yeah, we're everywhere where you'd find your podcasts and your social media as well. So good to have that platform out there.
No, it definitely is. I think the link to the Apple podcast is in the description. So if people want to go check it out on Apple Podcasts, as Gary and Ant said there as well, check it out on Spotify and other social media platforms available as well. Right, let's get into it then. First up, let's get the shout out the way first. What happened against them dirty six-fingered inbred down the M65? What the fuck happened there? I'll tell you something now. I feel for you guys because, and I'll say it straight up, should have been a penalty in the build-up to the first game because Jack Clark goes down and it's Stonewaller for me. And I don't care. And I'd have said the same even if it weren't the horse botherers. I'm telling you now, I'd have said the same. So I thought for me it should have been a penalty. That goal shouldn't have stood. And the second one, he's offside. So
you can forgive the offside goal, I think, because it is one of those split-second ones where if the linesman gets that right, it's a good decision, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that first one, I mean, Craig Pawson, obviously, for those who hadn't watched the Man United Newcastle game on Sunday, it missed two Stonewall penalties, and I'm as staunch anti-Newcastle as you are staunch anti-Blackburn, you know what I mean? But they had a Stonewaller turn down, then Man United had a Stonewaller turn. I mean, how he's missed that is beyond us. He's in a great position. He's about 6 feet away from the incident. I mean, Jack Clark gets his feet taken away, and everyone say, he's gone down theatrically. It doesn't matter. He's had his legs taken away from him. How are you meant to go down? You know what I mean? To add insult to injury, they've gone and scored an absolute rocket from Brereton Diaz.
Chilean.
Well, yeah, I mean, he seems to have got a lot better since he put Diaz in his name, so I might start doing that. It'll be hellish at my job. But apart from that, Dan, I actually, and this isn't being biased, so I thought we dominated the game. I thought we played some nice football.
You did.
Had we had a striker on the pitch, we've been saying this for the last 6-7 games. Had we had a striker on the pitch, I think we would have won quite easily. And this is against a team who've since gone top of the league. So, I think all in all, a pleasing performance, if not the result was kind of taken away from us by poor refereeing, which we've come to expect being Sunderland supporters, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, what was your take on it, Gary? Because for me, it's exactly what Ant said, pure dominance from Sunderland. It's just one of them games where you absolutely dominate it, but you just don't reap the reward.
Yeah, I agree. It was a Stonewall penalty, and the way Jack Clark has went down, it's probably why the ref hasn't given it, although it was definitely 100% a penalty. There was contact there. It was Stonewall. It was Stonewall. We should have had that. And at half time as well, even coming back out, the argument was still there from the players in regards to not just that, but the poor standard of refereeing just in the first half alone. Second goal, I mean, at first I didn't think it was offside until I saw the replay, but Stonewall clear. But I feel we did dominate the game. We look good going forward. I like the way we're passing the ball around. We've got players who've got a bit of energy at the moment. The Brereton Diaz goal was, it was out of nowhere. It was a really good shot. And I don't think, anyone could have thought to have even closed that down or even potentially stop it. So I was very happy with how we played. We do miss a striker. That's a given. We miss Ross Stewart 100%. Because it doesn't look like we're getting anything. Like our end product up front isn't there at the moment, but all the build-up plays, we just need Ross Stewart back. Ellis Sims is looking like he's going to be back in the next couple of weeks. We just need someone up there who can finish off the game for us, really, because that's where we're lacking at the moment. But other than that, I'm very happy with how we're playing at the moment. We still haven't seen the best of all these young kids that we've signed, which much like you guys, you've signed a lot of players in the window, and there's still a lot of potential there in our team, and fingers crossed, they're going to reach that potential, and we're going to see, how good of a nucleus of a squad we've got come the end of the season.
No, that's true. That's true. For everyone asking how I am, I'm fine. I'm here. I'm breathing. I suppose that's a positive. Cindy's in as well, all the way from America. Hope you're well, Cindy. Big, massive shout out to you. Cindy says, go Clarets, 100%. Anthony's in. He'll be coming on our prediction show at 9:30. So we've got the scrumpy loving Bristolian on his way. I think he supports any team in red, so it won't surprise me if he supports you guys this weekend. The missus is in, even though she's upstairs, hopefully not spilling any more brews like she did last night. But good evening to yourself from downstairs. Sounds a bit strange. But keep your matters evening to Kate and to everyone. True Red says, Alex Neil, another massive loss. Get the squad promoted last season. Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on that. Obviously, a bit of a strange one. I mean, I'd have thought Alex Neil would have done a little bit what, the bloke at QPR's just done, and basically turned his nose down, especially for a job at Stoke where it was almost like a championship poison chalice. They didn't look like they were going to sort of do anything. And he had a good record with you guys.
You're taking this first, Gary, or not?
Yeah, I think, when the whole Alex Neil crack came around, I think it was very divided, like where you've got a Sunderland chat. Like at first, I think the conversation was very divided, and then obviously more stuff that came to light, and I think it tipped to one side more so than the other. I mean, when you think about it, Alex Neil's going to Stoke to talk to Stoke. I think we're all like, oh, why Stoke? Stoke aren't a bigger club than Sunderland.
No.
Very strange. Then, more stuff seems to come to light all throughout that day, which, swings, people's opinions in regards to what's actually happened. You think about it a bit more because you have time to, he left on the eve of the game, severely unprofessional. Look what Ronaldo did last night, severely unprofessional, which, angered a lot of people as well. It was very strange that he did that. Then more stuff came out. He was speaking the next day saying that they offered him an improved contract. He decided not to take it. He wants to go to Stoke. Just very strange how that all came around. And, I don't think Alex Neil's kind of painted himself in glory by doing what he's done, because now it's a running joke on social media. Whatever job becomes available, Alex Neil's on the M1 getting there, apparently.
He's rumoured to be in 10 Downing Street as we speak.
Larry the Cat as his assistant. But there was a lot of rumblings from what I have heard that, him and Speakman weren't getting on for a while. Speakman has, the buy to sell kind of ethos at a profit. And, I'm not against that, I do that on Football Manager when I play it, I want to buy young kids, I want to sell them at a profit. I think everyone does. And I'm not against that ethos. And I think, the whole Jewis and Burnett transfer was maybe the one that pushed it over the bridge, because, we're spending, apparently, that transfer can go up to about 3 million from what I've heard. But he wanted to spend that money on an experienced player to, try and bolster our squad for the championship. I mean, that looks very silly now when you look at a player like Jewis and Burnett, who, to me, I said to Andy the other day, I think he looks a player. He's good on the ball. He's got pace. He probably needs to toughen up, but he's 18 years old. Like, he's got all the ability in the world to do so. So it was strange. It's kind of, we move again. We've got Tony Mowbray, who has a lot of experience working with young kids. Did it at Blackburn. This whole project pretty much fits the way he wants to play. I'm happy with, the way we're looking. It's very rare as a Sunderland fan, and Ant will 100% back me up on this, to say that we're playing really good football. There's times where we look absolutely terrible, more often than not last season. But, watching us play and watching the way we pass at the minute, like, even though we don't have a striker, we're playing really good football, and that's a massive plus for me.
No, I mean, and your take on it? I mean, as Gary said there, I'm guessing this is going to be contrasting by the sounds of it.
No. I slightly disagree with it. Was mixed bag, because I think pretty much as soon as he'd left, everyone was kind of. It was just are we allowed to swear on the show or not?
Yeah, of course you can, go for it.
It was the fuck Alex Neil song came out literally the next day. You know what I mean? But the bother I've got with it is it wouldn't have bothered me had, say, Alex Neil left for say Wolves now need a manager, and Alex Neil went to Wolves. That would be absolutely fine. I'd have absolutely no problem with that. He's probably bettered himself going to a Premier League side, but he's gone to Stoke, and I just don't get it. I don't get. He's only gone for one reason. He's gone for that. He's gone for the money. He's probably been promised a January where he can sign as many players as you want. You know, and then, like I said, there was stuff coming out that he was unhappy because we didn't sign John Ruddy. I mean, John Ruddy's 37 years of age. You know, what how's that model breaking in with Christian Speakman, buy young, sell big? You know, that's not going to happen. That's the model that we've decided to work under. It's worked pretty well so far. You know, there will come a time where we have to sell players. You know, we have to sell the likes of Jewison Bennett. We have to sell Dan Neil, Ross Stewart, you know, but they'll all be selling for profit. And we've gone down this road of, you know, buying, you know, big prima donna players for 10, 15, 20 millions and not seeing the rewards from it. And that's what got the club into League One in the first place. So I'm all for the model to change. You know, listen, Alex Neil can do whatever Alex Neil wants. If he wants to go to Stoke and get paid very handsomely to probably stay in the Championship, then that's up to him. But he will never manage a bigger club than Sunderland ever again. You know, that's him done. And that's not me being, you know, arrogant or anything like that. But
no. I agree with you. I mean, Sunderland is massive, absolutely massive. You know, not just because of the area of where you are, that you know, a bit like you've got two teams in Manchester now where it used to just be the one. It's sort of, you've always been a high-end staple no matter what league you've been in. So you are a massive, massive club with a very rich history. I mean, you said there about some of the young players that the ethos is working young and stuff. We obviously wanted Dan Neil about 2 seasons ago. I'm sure he's obviously come on leaps and bounds since then. As you said, the football, the adapting to this attacking style play. Do you think that's a good, positive way of looking at it? And will you reap the rewards soon? Is it a case of the fans need to be a bit patient in terms of let the football sort of come to fruition, the results will come?
I think what we need to kind of really, you know, understand that I don't think this season will go up. You know, me and Gary had a big prediction pod on Ball Lake about just before the start of the season, and Gary thinks we'll sneak into the playoffs. And the way we're playing, I kind of, you know, I'm getting kind of brought around to his way of thinking, you know, because I don't think there's many better teams than us in the league when we play well. The problem is it's squad and depth that we've got no striker at the moment. You know, if we get another couple of injuries, you know, I think Ali Jalise is now out for 3 weeks, which is a massive blow. Because Dan Ballard's also out, so there's 2 centre halves out, 2 strikers out. But yeah, I think it does need time, but I think that's what the fans will give them now. Now that we're out of League One, now that you've seen the last, you know, for the last 3 months, we are playing some really, really nice football. There's the players that you can kind of, you know, you can kind of love and you can get involved and you know that they're giving it everything for the club. I think it will be a season of consolidation. I think the fans understand that. So it's a lot different to what it was, you know, 18 months ago when, you know, there was fans baying for blood and you know, and everyone was sick of League One, which, you know, it's a horrible league and it's a hard league to get out of. We've come up to a league now and we're more than showing our grit and determination, and fingers crossed, you know, a season of consolidation next season. I would fancy just to go up, you know, in probably the automatics if we can bring a couple of players in, to be honest.
No, I mean, it sounds decent enough because I think that's what we're sort of doing this year as well, where we've started buying young to sell high. And you've got to do that nowadays. You know, you can't just pluck a gem that's in form from the lower leagues without having to sometimes stump up, you know, millions now, even for League Two players. I mean, question says there by QPR Mad. I mean, what is the financial status like at Sunderland at the moment?
I was at a business meeting last week with Christian Speakman and Steve Davison, who Christian Speakman's our director of football and Steve Davison's like the chief operating officer. So they were talking, and finances did come into play, and obviously at the minute they are operating at a loss. It's not a big loss, but there's only 3 teams in the Championship who are operating at a profit, and 2 of them have got parachute payments. So that goes to show what the Championship's like. And at the minute, I think what Sunderland are trying to, what they are, and that's what I agree in. They're buying these young lads. If we'll take Jewison Bennett as an example, who's a Costa Rican international, we've signed him for net end of £3 million with add-ons. We wanting to develop him to sell him at a massive profit which will bring back and it'll reciprocate around the club with the academy, bringing young academy players up and everything like that. So I just saw a question there: who are the owners? We've got a young lad in called Kirill Louis Dreyfus, who now has a 52% share. So he's the major shareholder. He's the one who, he's doing the hiring and firing. He's the one who's basically in control of the club. Madrox under Stuart Donald still has some shares, and Juan Sartori still has some shares as well. Just to answer that question as well.
No, that's fair enough. Gary, what have you made of the transfer business then?
Very happy with it. So Dan Ballard, start with him. I thought he had.
Well, did a massive U-turn with us.
I mean, you got Taylor Harwood-Bellis, and he's a good player.
I can't argue.
Yeah, I would have him. I would have Daniel Ballard. Either or, I would have been happy with him from your perspective. I'm a big fan of Dan Ballard. I think he's physical. He's young. He's got ability. Arsenal did want to keep him, but they just didn't see a future for him to get maybe breaking that team as a first team player. And I see, I get it. I see it that they've got a lot of ability there. However, he would have fit maybe their homegrown quarter to keep him. But then you look at where he is in the pecking order. Makes more sense for him to move on, build his career with another team. He most likely probably has a buyback clause. Azure Elise, the first game I saw Azure Elise play, I thought we've been done here, and it was in the cup, and I thought he was crap. But he is 100%. Put my doubt to bed, to be honest, because he's been fantastic in Serkin's absence. And he again looks a great steal, and I can now see why the West Ham fans wanted to keep him. We've got the three French lads who came out of nowhere in about 12 hours: Amad Diallo, Bar, and Michoud. Michoud looked like he wasn't going to come through, and then all of a sudden it did. Looked like they've got a lot of ability. I'm hoping that they reach it. I have read some stupid reports about Amad, though, predominantly from the Sun, saying he's been banished to the under-21s because basically he's crap. I don't think that. I think it's just because of the price tag that he commanded at Man United. People are generally going to be on his case. Ellis Sims, Jewison Bennett for me looks like he's going to be a great player. Ellis Sims on loan, started brilliantly. Him and Ross Stewart look like a good pair together. I'm not so sure on how Ellis Sims would do on his own. I think he looks a bit of a lazy forward. Again, Ellis, happy to be proved wrong if you're watching this, mate. But I'm trying to think who else we've signed. Alex Bass, obviously, he was a filler. He just came in the second choice. I feel we wanted someone more experienced, but he'll do the job. Am I missing anyone? And who else have we signed?
Yeah, I think you've pretty much nailed everyone. Well, Jack Clark came back, didn't he?
Jack Clark, yeah. Patrick Roberts signed permanently. Gooch signed new contract.
Yeah, I don't understand that, because Patrick Roberts had been around the mill with some loan moves and things like that. And then, no disrespect to you, obviously the club was massive, but for the position of where you were in League One, I thought for Patrick Roberts to take that drop to come to you just goes to show that he realised how much there was a pedigree and a history to the club, more than the fact of this is just a club in League One, I'm not going there.
I think you've got to look at there's a couple of players before him, even Ross Stewart to mention him, that we've kind of we bring them in and we love these players. You know what I mean? They get a bit of freedom. Especially with Patrick Roberts. I think on his day, Patrick Roberts is the best player in this division. His skill and his running, his directness. His day is not as consistent, and that's been his problem all his career. But he's shone this year. Jack Clark, who we signed from Spurs. I mean, last year when we signed him in January, I thought he'd gone. I thought his career had gone down the pan, but he just completely resurrected himself at the back end of last season, and this year he's been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So I think we've kind of turned into a club where these players who've got lost in the shuffle a little bit, have gone for big money to Premier League sides, it hasn't quite worked out, come to Sunderland and they're getting a chance to just enjoy themselves and play with a little bit of freedom, which it's just really reaping the rewards.
No, that sounds good to me. Even looking from the outside. Speaking of things that I don't know whether it would have sounded good to you, but when you appointed Tony Mowbray, what were your thoughts on the appointment? Were you thinking you could have done a little bit better from a managerial point of view?
Well, I wanted Sean Dyche.
I wouldn't have put. You know what? I said that Dash should be a perfect fit for Sunderland.
Yeah.
He wouldn't. I don't think you'd have worked under that. That would have been the issue. He wouldn't have worked under a DOF, would he? That's my big issue with.
Oh no, because we had a director of football. I think we had some reject from. I think he were at Man City, and he helped sign Sergio Aguero. He's probably lived off that and made money off that tag in years. Because tell you what, we saw the appointment of him coming. Mark Rigg, his name were. Right, the whole appointment of him were rigged. It was bullshit. It got announced, and then straight after that, you heard nothing. There were no signings. We announced that 35-year-old Dale Stevens from Brighton on transfer deadline day, only signing coming in for like $1 million. And we're thinking, what the fucking hell's going on? So, yeah, he has worked with DOFs before, but Tony Mowbray, a bit of a strange one.
You know what it was with Mowbray straight away that we'd signed the head of recruitment from Blackburn. I think it's Stuart Harvey. If I get his name wrong, I am sorry. And he's one of Mowbray's best mates. So it kind of, as soon as Alex Neil had left, the name first on the sheets was Tony Mowbray, and then literally at the Norwich game where I was at, apparently he was there. He'd been to pretty much all of our home games this season just to watch us, really, because obviously he lives in the army. He's a local lad. He's from Middlesbrough. So I think it's a perfect appointment for us, to be honest. He's a stalwart in the Championship. He knows how to keep teams up. He knows how to improve players. Look what he's done at Blackburn, to be fair. And I don't mean to be,
No. I agree. They've won the league in the opening months twice in 2 seasons.
Yeah. I think if Diaz had stayed fit for them last year, they would have been in the playoffs. I think that was the big. He missed 3 months, didn't he, with a bit of an injury. But what he does is he can nurture youth, and he can turn a young team into a very good side. I think Blackburn were the youngest team on paper in the Championship last year. I think if we're not one of them, we are the youngest side. We can't be very many teams who've got a lower age range than our lads. I think there's only about 3 of them over 20, to be honest. So obviously, there is that, and like I say, it's what I've said pretty much for the entire show so far. It's stability, isn't it? We need to be. We need a couple of we need a consolidation season, maybe 2, just to get ourselves used to the Championship again. And I can't think of many more managers than Mogger who can do that and bring that expertise in.
100%. I mean, Gary, what were your thoughts on it?
Maybe just said don't call him Mogger.
No, I said I love how people call him Mogger. It's hilarious. So when obviously Neil went, I thought, we're in a position, and I had this discussion with our friend Carl. I was like, we're in a position here where we can attract a high quality name. We started the season well, we looked good. And I thought the person for us would be, Sean Dyche. I was like, oh, this could be the challenge for him, building a brand new squad. It's not an aging team. So, it's a team which you can work with on the long term. Tony Mowbray kind of popped up the next day, the Saturday morning. I think it's when he went to the Norwich game. And there was a couple of pictures taken. He took with some kids and stuff. And I don't have anything against Tony Mowbray. I just didn't kind of maybe see him in the fit for it. So when we appointed him, I was kind of probably 50-50 if I'm being honest. See how he gets on, give him a chance, nothing negative towards him. He could have done, I think he could have done more with Blackburn, but Blackburn decided not to renew the contract. So, for me, that it's a catch for us. And if you're looking at the way we're playing football and looking at his philosophy and, how we're passing the ball, going forward, I think the team looks really good, and I think he's got us, set up well. And I mean, I mentioned this the other day. Beginning of the season, I wasn't the biggest fan of Anthony Patterson. I feel like he's not a Championship goalkeeper, but as time's going on, he's working with Tony Mowbray and his team. He looks more confident. And he looks more commanding. Looks a better shot stopper, and I'm happy to eat my words with that one. And tell you that. But yeah, I just think, the whole philosophy which he has, I'm happy with it. Don't have anything, bad to say about it. I just didn't really see Tony Mowbray coming to us. I thought we would have went someone with maybe a bit of a higher reputation, someone who just dropped out of the Premier League like Dyche.
No, that's fair shout. I mean, we said about the football and how, you know, it's a lot more attacking. You've got young heads in amongst the starting 11. The games this season, what have you made of the season so far? How do you see that one?
We've never been outclassed yet. You know, we've lost a couple of games. Of course, we have. We're going to lose games of football, but in the games that we've lost, like Sheffield United, who were flying high, and I know they've gone on a bit of a bad run recently, but we lost 2-1, but we had Dan Neil sent off relatively early on in the game, and up to them we were dominating. Norwich at home, for 60 minutes we were absolutely fantastic. And Norwich had to bring on, you know, 3 players who played in the Premier League last year, and that's where we are with the other sides. You know, it'll be the same on Saturday when we play Burnley. Burnley have got, you know, players in there who are at a higher caliber than what we are at the moment. That's just where we are. But you know, Middlesbrough, we lost Ross Stewart in the warm up. Didn't quite. I think we looked a little bit leggy in that game, but even the other night, I thought we dominated the game. And
yeah, you did.
We've lost, but in some of the games that we've won, we've blew teams away. You know, Rotherham, who were unbeaten away from home, we went through them quite easily. Reading, who were, I think they'd won every home game, beaten 3-0 without a striker. You know, we beat Wigan, who came up with us at the weekend despite going 1-0 down. You know, so we're showing this. It's coming since the end of last year, where this team will never give up. They'll never say die. Even in the last couple of minutes of games, if we're searching for a goal, we'll give everything to get it. You know, and it's been difficult, obviously, with a few. You know, we've had to bring these young lads in, and if some of them are still, you know, settling. You know, Misha, for example, we haven't seen him at all. You know, we've seen a couple of minutes of him here and there. But he played for PSG last year, you know what I mean? They don't give them away for free. You know what I mean? He's obviously a good player. So, but we're playing some lovely, exciting football. You know, I've watched a lot of the Championship, and I can't see many more teams who are exciting as what we are. You know, and it really gives us this, you know, confidence that we'll be all right this year. We may be able, once we get Ross Stewart back, to push for the playoffs. Listen, mate, give me 15th and I'll take it. Give me 15th this season, I'm happy. But what I'm more excited about towards Saturday is I think Burnley will come and play football against us, whereas the last 3 home games, teams have come and have decided to set up shop against a team who finished 5th in League One last season. So that just goes to show the football that we are playing, where teams are already thinking, Christ, we're going to have to batten down the hatches. So I think as long as the season's gone, we're just showing that we are more than capable in this division.
Yeah, 100%. 13th in the table. Very happy with that, Gary, to start with. I mean, looking at it, a loss, a win, a loss. Then if you're following that platform, it should be a big fat W this weekend.
Well, you'd think we were Blackburn until they brought that curse the other day, don't you? But no, I'm happy with it. I mean, I think probably speak for pretty much every Sunderland fan. If we stayed up this season, we'd all be happy with it. Obviously, you know, the very optimistic side of myself would love us to go up in the playoffs, or at least make the playoffs, and I am still holding out for that. We just need Ross Stewart back. But no, I'm really happy with it. And as I mentioned, you know, I think you guys are going to come in, you're going to play football, and it's going to be a good game of football because, you guys look great. You know, you've signed young players, kind of. We've got the same philosophy in a sense, and you know, the money which was, you know, you received for players like Nathan Collins and Dwight McNeil. You've invested again in the club. I think companies went and bought half the Belgian league by the looks of it. But you know, they look good eggs. So I definitely think it'll be a good game. I would absolutely love to see Max Thompson on the bench against you. That would be an interesting one.
It would. You've had quite a few youngsters from us. I think you had Jimmy Dunn on loan from us at one point. Then I think you snapped up Ollie Younger. From us as well, and then he must have been shit because you soon got rid of him.
He's gone to Doncaster.
Has it?
Yeah, he was all right. You know, he just wasn't good enough for League One. Well, Jimmy Dunn's an interesting one, isn't he? Because when he came, I thought he was hopeless, and I think a lot of Burnley fans were like, "Nah, he's not that good." But he's proper pulling up the trees, isn't he? QPR, so fair play to him.
Yes, something's not right for. In terms,
are you still there, Dan?
He's froze. Look. Don't talk amongst ourselves. Has there anyone got any questions? Well, I'll happily answer them until Dan comes back.
Oh, he's back. He's
There
back.
he is.
I'm back. The internet's gone, so it went funny. So I just thought, listen, I'm not pissing about waiting for it to come back on. I'm turning it off. I'll just work on my 5G. Fuck it. I'm not.
It's going to be a Sunderland takeover there for a second.
It were that right. I've been hacked. But no, honestly, yeah, Jimmy Dunn was an interesting one because he came back, and I think he thought he was worthy of coming in, and stepping up to the plate. But when you've got players like Kevin Long, who's been at the club, I think he's our longest serving player. He's probably played about 3 games, but he's longest serving player. He's people want to still come to Burnley, so he must be quite warm to sit on when it comes to bench. But Jimmy Dunn, I wouldn't have minded him back, when we came down and we started saying about getting young players in, because he's still 24, 25.
Mm.
So he's still yeah, definitely. Going into this game then, being at home, fancy it?
I think it'll be a really, really good game. I think if we're on the championship highlights on Saturday night, I think we're one of the ones that gets quite a lot of coverage. They'll probably send a commentator up there, won't they? Because this was a Premier League game not so long ago, wasn't it? So, 2 big sides in this division, 2 sides who've started the season relatively well. Obviously, you guys were, I don't know, because you've drawn a lot of games, but you were top. So it shows how good this, well, not so how kind of competitive this Championship League is this year. But every time I've seen you guys, you have looked good. The first game of the season, I was like, oh my God, this Championship looks so much quicker. But we've adapted to it well. I'm expecting a really, really good game. Obviously Teller looks really good for you guys. I don't know, because he went off injured, didn't he, last week? So I'm hoping he is fixed. I want to see everyone's team's best players play each other. Obviously, we'll be without Stewart. We'll probably be without Sims. So, but I don't like having this, kind of like thought, oh, their best players out injured will be RE. I like to see both sides play against each other with the best team, obviously. But I think it'll be a really, really exciting game. I think both teams will come out and play football. So it's all you want, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. I don't understand why my picture's gone so distorted. God knows. That's it. It's Burnley Wi-Fi. It's probably pissing down. I can't get a signal or all that. That's what it is.
It's been raining a lot of beer, so you're probably getting that.
Oh, that's all right, though. It's all right. People saying in the chat as well, keep your mad, obviously saying done with us now. When the comments come up, for some reason they're not. Laptop's on a Madden again, but yeah, done with us now. Sunderland's view on the Dieng goal.
Next question.
Well said.
That could only happen to Sunderland.
I mean,
that was another game, Dan. That was another game where we absolutely dominated for 85 minutes, and then that QPR back in. Listen, I personally think QPR will go up this year. I think they've got a cracking young manager, and fair play for him to turn Wolves down, because he could have easily just went, I'm off, I'm going to try my arm in the Premier League. And then in about 6 months' time, when it more than likely didn't work, he'd have been out of a job and probably had nowhere to go. So it's good to see a little bit of loyalty. But I do think QPR will go up. Dieng is a fantastic goalkeeper. And obviously, if they're ever short of a striker, they can put him up front, because his header was... we see these goalkeepers are normally like balloons in, doesn't it? Or it's one of those thumping headers. This was like a really looper. It was a beautiful, beautiful header, but it has to happen to someone, doesn't it? Goalkeeper scores. But never mind.
Only happens to
Sunderland. Going into it then, who should us as Burnley fans look out for? Because who would you say the danger man is for Sunderland?
Go on, Gary.
I would say at the minute, going forward for creativity, we give the ball to Jack Clark a lot because we expect a lot from Jack Clark. But for me, Jack Clark has a habit of holding onto the ball for a couple of seconds too long rather than he should. Patrick Roberts on his day, like Anne said earlier on, he can be the best player in that league when he turns up. So for me, if our wide players turn up on Saturday and bring their A game, we could cause some hassle down the wings. I'm a massive fan of Dennis Cirkin, and I think Dennis Cirkin is a fantastic player, and I definitely think we are going to have him next season because Brentford are sniffing around him in January, but I think Spurs will activate his buyback to fill a quota. But I just like the way he plays. You know, he's very high up the pitch, even as a centre back. When we play three at the back and play two wing backs, he's still very high up the pitch. He has a habit of switching off for a couple of seconds and doing stupid stuff. You know, but a lot of players can do that as well. You know, I think if we play Abdullah Bar, like I think, you know, he's got some ability about him. Ahmad Traore, you know, this guy, you know, he's went to a state-of-the-art academy. He's not a bad player. He just needs to grow. And, you know, if we give him a free rein, he has ability to cause, you know, Harwood Bellis issues. And, you know, it's one of those things. I think the kids definitely need a chance on Saturday, because I feel like your team's going to bring a lot of energy because, you know, you brought in a lot of young guys as well. So I think we need to give some of the kids a chance to see what they can really do and, you know, push on. I would love to say Jewison Burnett's going to get a start, but I don't think he's going to.
Is it too early for Sims to come back? Do you think he's a few weeks out still?
Yeah,
he's been ruled out. I think he's back to training on Monday, so he's got a chance for Luton. But he's been ruled out, yeah. So once again, without a striker.
It's all right. We just like to pass it around, though. We just like to piss around and pass it around, 70% possession every game, and just do fuck all without putting it in the net. As soon as we get forward, we're like, oh, brill stuff. It's so fast going from defence to attack, playing it. And then we get there and it's arseballs out. so frustrating. But switching that question then, who are you not looking forward to facing from a Burnley perspective?
Is Teller fit?
He's an handsome-looking chap. Yeah, I won't go that far, but
is he available to play then? Since you've been
I think he will be. Yeah,
Teller. Every time I've seen him on the highlight shows and everything like that, I think he's come from Southampton, hasn't he?
On loan. Yeah,
he's another one out of that, you know, Southampton academy who I think will go on and have a really, really good career. Funny enough, we've just got one of their academy managers in to run our academy, so can't wait to see what he can produce. But yeah, Teller for me, it looks the outstanding player for Burnley this season.
Definitely. I mean, Gary, do you echo that sentiment, or is there somebody else maybe that you cast an eye over?
I would probably say I echo the sentiment, but I do like Josh Cullen as well. I think Josh Cullen's got ability. I mean, what's the crap with Scott Twine? Like, is he playing at the moment, or is he injured?
I've heard of him. Apparently, he had a good career at MK Dons last year, but I don't know. Apparently, somebody's seen this bloke called Scott Twine sniffing around Turf Moor, but no one's seen him. He's just to be fair, we saw about 15 minutes. We saw about 15 minutes against Huddersfield, and you know he cracked the post with a free kick. The glimpses that we saw, even in that 15 minutes, we thought, shit, we've got a real player here. But I don't know whether it's the fact of, you know, going up a level to the Championship, the intensity of the way we're playing compared to probably what he had at MK Dons. Rumours coming out recently that it may be something to do with his mental health, which if it is, then, you know, you can't really put a time limit on when a player comes back and is mentally prepared for it. Fingers crossed from a business perspective. Obviously, you want to hope that you haven't sort of chuck your money away on a player that could potentially not even make, you know, more than one substitute appearance for you. I mean, I look at the likes of people like Billy Key, who were the striker at Accrington Stanley, who, you know, gave up playing football because his mental health was that bad. So, you do see it.
Eating disorder.
Yeah,
horrible stuff.
It is, and it's so much like in the limelight now, isn't it? Mental health. So if it is that, then, you know, obviously, just come back when you're ready, but keep an eye on that table because we need you. Just, without trying to push you, mate, I think we need you. But no, I'm looking forward to it. What's that?
Is Maatsen injured at the moment, or is he just not playing? Because I thought Ian Maatsen looked all right.
Yeah, we were a bit shocked that he weren't in the 11 yesterday, and the only reason we knew he weren't in the 11 before the team announcement is because he put a picture of some chef cooking him some tea. And we were like, on his Instagram story, I'm like, right, okay, so he's not in the squad. But yeah, his deliveries have been something else. And another player, I'm fed up of it. It's Teller, Harwood Bellis, Ian Matson. That's 3 loan players in one season I've fallen in love with, and I'm going to get my heart broke by probably 2 or 3 of them if we don't go up. See, I think we could sign Harwood Bellis. I reckon we've got a chance of signing him because obviously with City signing Akanji at the back, it gives, Harwood Bellis is thinking, shit, I ain't going to get in here now. Even Nathan Ackey's getting game time and I'm not. So it's a swings and roundabouts, and I think we'll do a bit of a structured deal similar to the Muric deal, where they've said, right, you can have him, cheap price, but we want a buyback clause for cheap as well, in case he does come on good. So we shall see. We shall see. That said, Tony Mowbray falls down the stairs, has a bang to the head, calls you 2 up and says, right, you're picking the team, you're doing the team selection. Who's in your starting 11 for Saturday?
Oh, I hate these things, especially with injuries at the minute, because obviously LS has gone down against Blackburn. Another one where the referee missed up. That was a terrible tackle as well, but never mind.
Yeah.
But obviously the goalkeeper picks himself. Anthony Patterson, who, as Gary said, has come on leaps and bounds. I think we'll stick with a 4. So that automatic playoffs. There's only 2 positions, man. Anyway, right. So I'm going to go because Gooch is out injured. So I'm going to move Luke O'Nien to right back. I'm going to bring Bailey Wright in because I think we need a little bit of experience alongside Danny Bath, who has been again a colossal this season. Sergen left back, midfield. I would say 4-3-3. So I'm going to go Dan Neil, Corey Evans, and Alex Pritchard. Who needs a big game coming up because he's been poor the last few games, and he's decided to block a lot of Sunderland fans on Twitter for saying he's been poor or words that extent.
Really?
And
Wow.
then I know Gary's mentioned there about Burnett, but I think it's about time. I think Burnett's earned his start after Tuesday. So I'm going to put Burnett in on the left, Patrick Roberts on the right, with Jack Clark through the middle. So that'll be my team.
We need to take a risk, and Burnett's got ability for me.
Do you think, is there anybody you changing there, Gary, at all?
I'd like to bring Gooch in, but I think Gooch is injured, isn't he?
I think it's coming a little bit too soon for him, I think.
Yeah. I would like to bring him in, but I think he's injured. So I'd go Billy Wright at right back, because I thought Billy Wright back in the last season was class. Luke O'Nien is doing a great job with Danny Bath at centre back, considering he's not a centre back. Dennis Serkin will come in at left back with Adju Elise injured. We'll stick with Neil and Evans in the centre. I would like to see, to be honest, I'd like to see Matete come in and kind of, drop deeper, because I think you guys are just going to come at us, and I think we could potentially catch you on the break if we drop deeper. And then Clark, Roberts, Pritchard, and I'd probably bring in Embleton and play a false 9. Probably Roberts as a false 9.
No, why not? Why not? Score predictions then. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty of it. And I'll come to you first.
I'm not going to say that we'll lose. I'm not going to say that we're going to lose. I'll be happy with the draw, but I think what plays in our hands is you're going to come and play. And teams that have come and played against us this season have felt the brunt of how good we can be. But I just can't see us winning many games without Ross Stewart, because obviously we need a centre forward. So I think I'll go 2-2. I think it'll be a really, really good game.
No, interesting. 2-2. I mean, we're the draw specialists, so it would not surprise me. Gary, how do you see it coming?
Company with his cap and suit on, you know what I mean? I think that's a great, great style, and I'm loving it.
I don't see us winning. I see it as a 1-1 draw. I do think you're very hard still to break down the back. You said there you draw specialists, but it's very rare that you concede over 2 goals. So I think it's going to be quite hard for us to break you down. I think 1-1, that's what I'm looking at, 1-1, but I think you guys will take the lead before half time. And I don't think we'll come back into it until late into the game when we kind of inject the kids. Because I think the 5 subs have worked like for us this season. Like I think you get a kind of a buzz when you see 3 subs coming on. I like the ballsiness of that. So I can see us, doing what we did on Tuesday against Blackburn and bringing on Burnett Bar and Ahmad to try and just cause some issues for you at the back. So I reckon 1-1 is what I'm looking at for me.
Did you just realise you've said you want to inject some kids?
No,
what I meant to say is
just make sure that the cameras don't point round to you mid-game and you're just sat there like, Sunderland. Lie back and think of Sunderland.
Bring the kids on is what I meant to say. But yeah, it's quite good when bring the kids on.
It's all right. It always happens on this show. Everything goes tits up. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all.
Thanks for that, Ando. Appreciate it.
I am on it. It just tickled his bit, that's all. Sorry.
He's there. Tog's going in his head thinking, shit, did I really just say that? And then you're like, guess what you just said?
Interject the kids.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that was it. Never mind.
Absolutely brilliant. Cinder, it's not a big rivalry. In fact, I think Burnley and Sunderland get on quite well. To be honest with you, so there's no rivalry, no bad blood at all. So yeah, just a regular match. I'm sure you'll see fans knocking about, in the boozers together. Me and the missus are already trying to think, right, nearest parking space, spoons, the game. Trying to sort out all the important stuff. Knowing we'll forget the tickets. But I just want to play a little game with you, even though my graphics are shite from my screen, from what I'm looking at anyway. But yeah, this is just a little game called This or That.
What was that?
I got a shock of my life there, Dan.
So don't worry, it is not anything. It's not anything bad. I'm just going to give you both 2 options, and either of you give me one or the other. It's totally up to you. But there is one final question that can determine whether you are a legend or a wanker, basically. Just I'll call it as it is. So I'll start off nice and easy. Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Just.
Yeah, you can chill to Netflix. You can't with YouTube. It's a bit strange. Yeah. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
100%. Kevin Ball or Lee Cattermole?
Kevin Ball.
Good shout. I'll never forget that challenge against.
Well, he's ex-Burnley, Kevin Ball.
Yeah. I'll never forget that challenge you did against Blackburn in 2000. He literally swiped him clean out. I loved the interview afterwards. He stood there.
It's just his bloke with a flip in the air and ball, he following through. Here he goes.
Gotta love Kevin
The best
Ball,
thing about it was, though, that the interview afterwards, he's like, well, no, the ball was there to be won. He just stood there with chewing gum in his mouth. Yeah, the ball was there to be won. Bit of a 50-50 challenge. Clash of shins. I'm just thinking, clash of shins. Fucking hell, Kevin. If that's a clash of shins, then me high-fiving the missus is like, I'm going to be arrested.
He would get banned for like 9 months now, wouldn't he? He'd last one game.
Easily. Easily. He'd be sharing a cell with like Cantona for living that I kicked it. Fan. Right, the big question then. The big one. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Absolutely not.
No.
Yes. See, both up there. Both up there. See, look, not only was this just a test, but it tested the friendship as well to see where it goes. But everything was on point, so don't worry about it. All is good in the hood. Guys, you've been absolute legends. I really appreciate coming on. I'm sorry about all the technical issues and stuff like that. It does happen. But thanks again for giving us your time. Really do appreciate it. And again, either one of you, give a shout out and plug your socials.
Gary, you're the man on these. You're the man on these, buddy.
So you can follow us over on Twitter, Facebook, at WABAPod as it is, WABA Pod. Instagram as well, same Twitter, same handle as Twitter. You know, you can find us on Apple, Spotify, Google, Sounder if you use that as well. You know, I'm going to try and get the pod out on loads of different platforms. I'll probably try and, you know, do something more on YouTube, much like what you do, Dan, because to be honest, like, your setup's absolutely class. But yeah, definitely, like, you can find us pretty much anywhere you get your pods.
He just wants to steal your videos, Dan. That's what it is. His eyes are like that now.
The intro, 10 out of 10, man. The intro was class.
But to be fair, I do all this stuff on my phone. So it's like there were a website I used, and I started telling everybody about it, and they said, "Oh, you've got to pay a monthly fee." I said, "No. There's a loophole. If you click the free video and then add the slides, all the paid slides come up, and you click them, delete the free video, and then you get them ones for free without the watermark." I said that, and I've clearly said it to too many people, because now I've tried to do another video for a different show, and it's like, "No, you need to sign up to this for the month." I'm like, "Fucker, bastard!"
Just saw you coming.
So I was fuming.
Yeah, so if the show's not on next week, you know where Dan's at. He's in prison. Some copyright theft involved.
No, guys, really do appreciate it. Thank you for giving us your time tonight. As I say, looking forward to the game. I'm coming up on Saturday as well, me and the missus. So looking forward to taking it in.
Yeah, I might see you there for a pint, buddy. You never know.
Oh, 100%. I'll drop you a message when we're on way up. We're setting off about 9:30, 10ish, so we should be there for lunchtime.
Yeah, I think it's. I think we're going to be. I think we normally drink at the Hilton now. Not meaning to sound posh, but there's a pub called the Colliery Tavern on the back end, which we normally go in. But it's getting cold now, isn't it? Rather go inside for a pint. Yeah.
Hilton's canny though. Like, there's massive space to Hilton.
It should be good. Should be good either way, no matter what. Let's hope for a good result. Guys, the comments are coming through, but they're coming through slow on here, but coming through fast on my phone. I don't want to click one and it not come through. So just thank you everyone for your comments. Really do appreciate it. And as I say, appreciate the love tonight as well, as much as the quality on the video for myself is shocking. That said, you can like this video if you are enjoying the content. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and click that notification bell if you want to be notified when we next go live, which, funnily enough, is at 9:30 when we do our prediction show. And hopefully the internet doesn't go out, because I'll be fucking fuming. However, there's a very good chance it probably will. Burnley Wi-Fi for you. Shite. That said, guys, thank you very much. Good luck to your teams this weekend if they are playing. And yeah, I'm sure good luck for the rest of the season, chaps. Obviously, Saturday, can't say the same for that, but hey, I'm sure we'll speak afterwards. Nice to finally put a face to the names and take it easy. For now, guys, enjoy. Have a good weekend. It's weekend eve. Get in. Enjoy. And see you soon. Stay healthy, stay safe.
Cheers for having us.